lends a frame to what we're talking about this evening. So this is Judaism's take-home message about immigration. Listen up. See the immigrant as kin. Ensure they can live with dignity. Treat them fairly in business and in community. Remember that all of us, in some way, are just visitors dependent on God's compassion. So tonight we will be honored to hear more about who you are, Hazel Watson. We love that you're here. Your life work gives voice to those seeking refuge. Thank you, Susan Solars, for bringing Hazel to our community. As a congregation, we listen with open hearts, and we ask, how can we align our actions with our deepest Jewish values? And now the joy of new life reminds us what we're working forward to. We're working for a sweeter, safer, more compassionate world for that baby. So this evening, we'll celebrate the naming of Claire Ellen Stafford, daughter of Lauren Lutke Stafford and Mike Stafford. Lauren grew up in our congregation, and to see her as a mother, oh my gosh. I did your bat mitzvah, I'm just saying. Claire Ellen's arrival makes the world brighter, kinder, and more sacred, not to mention the joy of Claire's grandparents, CBS members Terry and Neil, and we welcome her parents, Terry and Lori. So we will welcome Shabbat together, the Shekhinah, the Sabbath bride, with joy. We will welcome baby Claire, and fortified by rest and love, we will focus on the word tikkun olam, the need to heal this world. And together I say, amen. So friends, let's turn to page L'Chadodi, which is page 138.
Shabbat,
way. Of course, David Lugo is coming in pretending not to be the Sabbath bride, but we imagine in our minds the Sabbath bride, however we envision her to be, coming in and bringing peace and deep calm. Oh, with Shalom, Ateret Bala, Gam B'Simcha. So we'll continue with page 144. I would love Oscar to help us. Actually, he'll do it on his own. Page 144.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash shamei rabba b'alma divra chirte v'amlich malchute b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayeda kol beit Yisrael bagala bagala uvizman kariv v'imeru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'olam me'almaya yitbarach yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal shemei dekudisha le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'oma ve'imeru amen.
Please turn to page 146. Please be seated. We turn to page 148, and I will begin with what I've seen. In my backyard, there's an oleander tree that is in full bloom. It's breathtaking. And the jasmine, it's heaven. Your turn. What have you seen this week that's beautiful to you in nature? We're going to get there right away. What have you seen? Yes, Andy.
I've seen where I live a lot more grandchildren coming to visit their grandparents and walking around the grounds.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, my grandson wearing his bagel onesie at a bagel shop buying bagels.
Right? Doesn't get better. Anyone else? Yes, Holly. House. Yes, Robin. Oh. Okay. Oh, that's so exciting. Teresa? Oh, that's a blessing. Anyone else see something beautiful in nature that you've just seen this week? Yes. Oh, right? It's perfect. Anyone else? Add to the beauty? So we say together on page 148, "Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsebaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Ata Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim." So we'll continue on page 150. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu Uvkumenu nasiach bechukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha Uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem nege yomam v'layla ve'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Please stand. Page 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Please be seated, unless you're Oscar. Page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם ובשילך בביתך ובזכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וכשרתם לאות על ידיך וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
So I think we're in a good spot, talking about how we should impress upon our children and talk and remember God through our actions. So I think I was wondering if Lauren and Mike and Baby would like to come and visit up here. Yeah. And then I'll invite grandparents to come up, and brothers, and brothers' beautiful wives. Okay? Okay, just look at this baby, okay? She's kind of on the back of your handout. She's so beautiful. So let's learn something about this baby's name. Lauren, dear?
Yes.
Can you share with us about everything?
So Claire was inspired by my grandma, my maternal grandma, Connie or Constance. That was the inspiration for Claire. She's an incredibly special woman in my life and still is. Ellen.
Ellen, her middle name is also my mother's middle name. So that worked out perfectly because Claire Ellen just flows together wonderfully, and I love it.
And should we share her?
I'd like to know something about it. Did you select a Jewish name? Is that why we're here? Yes. It is. Okay. Share with us.
So her Hebrew name is Chava Eliora, and that means living or life for Chava, and then Eliora is light, which we discovered works so beautifully also because Claire translates to clarity and clear, and Ellen translates to light. So she is very much the light of our lives, and now she can wear that in her name as well.
And she can wear pretty dresses
Yes,
Yeah.
and wear them well.
and wear them well. I'm going to ask if we can just put
Absolutely.
around both of you.
Yes.
Hi, baby. How are you? Did you have a good dinner? Okay, good. So I'm whispering just because. So, friends, I had the privilege of marrying this beautiful couple. How long ago was that?
October of 2022.
See what happens? You get into the chuppah and then you have a baby. Yes, there's no stork involved. Okay, so I'm just so excited. Okay. There's also a naming certificate right over there, so I want to grab that. Do you see? First of all, this is just beautiful, beautiful. Our God, source of all life, we thank you for the countless blessings you have given us. We thank you especially for the sacred joy and privilege of parenthood, which adds profound meaning and purpose to one's existence. So we welcome you, oh precious one, Claire Ellen Stafford, Chava, as in Eve, as in Adam and, but she stands alone, right? And Leora, God is my light. Your parents, Mike and Lauren, have brought you into this sanctuary. So to say thank you to God and to their parents and for everybody and all the miracles that happen to bring you into existence. Grant your parents wisdom, patience, and devotion that you may be raised to live in accordance with your wisdom and your Torah. In this synagogue, in the presence of this holy congregation, we give to this newly born child the name Chava Leora Bat Liat Naomi ben Michael. May that name become an honored name in the household of Israel. Now I'd like to invite your grandparents, her grandparents up, please. Could I see Neil and Terry and Lori and Terry and Josh and Diane and Daniel and Bansari? Come up. Did I pronounce Vansri correctly?
You did, that was
Oh,
perfect.
good. And I need two tall people, Joel Shapiro and Bob. Can you please come up? Let me just put this for a second. We're
And
gonna,
the kopipi?
okay, perfect. Okay, can you guys, hi. Hi. Come on over. Okay, Joel, you hold on one side, Bob will hold on the other. You on one side. Can you guys get under the talus? It's like, it's gonna be like it, we're camping out. Okay, you can squish, you know each other. So Neil, Terry, I feel you've gone to Israel, we've done some beautiful things together, we've shared a lot, all kinds of things. And this is the sweetest of them all. Mazel tov, and congratulations to you, beautiful people who produced this fine man, which helped create this perfect baby. And your brothers, and your brother's loved one. Oh, hello, it's Bansri. Bansri. Nice to meet you too. Okay, so. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. May God's light shine on you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's light always be lifted up towards you and show you the way to bring you peace. And together we say, Amen.
Amen.
Siman tov. Yahilanu, Uvachol Yisrael. How sweet it is. Well, friends, we turn to page 158. And usually when we sing Michamocha, the crossing of the Red Sea, we think about a challenge that's before us and how we're going to have the fortitude, the stamina to get to the other side. May I suggest that what fortifies us with this Michamocha is sweetness, right? And the joy of a new baby. And let our journey to the other side be one of love. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehetav hakodesh. Nora tehilot, oseh velen, nora tehilot, oseh velen. Malechutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei yam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, zehelianu ve'ameru. Adonai yimloch, Adonai yimloch, le'olam va'ed. V'nehemar ki fadal et Yaakov, u'galo miyad chazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga Yisrael. We join together on page 160. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up our guardian to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel, and for your name's sake be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and our coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people, Israel, over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom, shalom aleinu ve'akol amo Yisrael. Let's try that again. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom, shalom aleinu ve'akol amo Yisrael. Ve'ayerushalayim ve'akol amo, ve'ayerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom, shalom aleinu ve'akol amo Yisrael. So we did forget our certificates. I'll just show you. So we know that we were here for this moment. And it says, Mishaberach avotenu ve'imotenu hu yavarech et hayalda hazot Chava Eliora bat Liat Naomi v'Michael. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless that precious little girl, Claire Ellen Stafford. At Congregation Beth Shalom, she was born February 3rd, which corresponds to the 5th of Nisan, and today is her baby naming, the 26th of ER, or May 23rd. So I'm going to invite you, Oscar, to bring this to the mommy and daddy. And that way I don't forget it. So let's turn to page 162. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת שבת וינפש שבת, שבת וינפש, שבת שבת vayinafesh. So we continue with the prayer tefillah, page 164. Oscar, will you help me with this too? Please stand. Adonai sifata tiftach ufi yagita hilatecha, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Chanura, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, v'Koneh Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo B'Yava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Be'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Metim Atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechakel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayei Metim Berachamim Rabbi, Somech Noflim Verofech Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunah Tfilato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Bal Gevurot Umidom Melach Melech Memit Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Ata L'Chayot Metim Baruch Ata Adonai Mechaye HaMetim Ata Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh U'Kdoshim B'chol Yom Yihalu Chasela Baruch Ata Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. So we stand quietly and we just take a few deep breaths, getting clear that we're in this room, surrounded by people with similar intentions of connection and peace. On page 173, may these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch Atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 175. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu Be'amecha Yisrael U'tefilata B'ahava Tekabel U'tahil Ratzon Tamid Avodat Yisrael Yisrael Amecha Baruch Atah Adonai She'otecha Levadecha Vayira Navod Navod Navod. Please be seated. So let's just take a moment sitting, thinking about the past week, the blessings that have come our way. How we navigated a situation that was tricky. How someone was kind to us. Gratitude. As though heaven is responding. So let's look at the words on page 180. So the words are Oseh Shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. And the English is may the one who makes peace bring peace down. Bring peace down goes like this. Oseh shalom bimromav. Again. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom hu ya'aseh down, bring peace down. So I'm not sure that you had the opportunity of reading all the material in your handout, but just to sum it up, in your handout you should have something that says for reflection. And these are primarily Jewish texts, but they're also from different places. Exodus, the one at the top, and a stranger shalt thou not do as the homeborn among you, and thou shalt love him as yourself, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. So let's look at Rabbi Jonathan Sacks, who died just a few years ago, a great, great thinker and chief rabbi of London, of England. He said, I used to think that the most important line in the Bible was love your neighbor as yourself. And then I realized that it's easy to love your neighbor because he or she is usually quite like yourself. What is hard is to love the stranger, one whose color, culture, and creed is different than yours. That's why the command, love the stranger, because you were once a stranger, resonates so often throughout the Bible. It's summoning us now. The other teachings is really about when Christopher Columbus sailed forth. In the same month in which the Majesties Ferdinand and Isabella issued the edict that all Jews should be driven out of the kingdom and its territories, in the same month they gave me, Christopher Columbus, the order to undertake with sufficient men my expedition of discovery to the Indies. So begins Christopher Columbus's diary. The expulsion that Columbus refers to was so go ahead. Thank you. An event that ever since the date 1492 has almost been as important in Jewish history as in American history. On July 30th, or that year, the entire Jewish community, 200,000 people, were expelled from Spain. On May 13th, 1939, and this comes from the Holocaust Memorial Museum archives, May 13th, 1939, the German transatlantic liner St. Louis sailed from Hamburg, Germany, for Havana, Cuba. On the voyage were 937 passengers. Almost all were Jews fleeing from the Third Reich. Most were German citizens, some were from Eastern Europe, and a few were officially stateless. The majority of the Jewish passengers had applied for U.S. visas and had planned to stay in Cuba only until they could enter the United States. But by the time the St. Louis sailed, there were signs that political conditions in Cuba might keep the passengers from landing there. The U.S. State Department in Washington, the U.S. Consulate in Havana, some Jewish organizations, and refugee agencies were all aware of the situation. The passengers themselves were not informed, and most were compelled to return to Europe, which we know what that meant. So it's really in that spirit of knowing where we came from that informs the present moment. So Susan, I'm going to invite you to introduce our speaker. And then also in your handout are kind of bullet points of what's current with immigration.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Susan Solars, and I'm pleased to be here tonight. My parents were immigrants from Poland, so I'm a first-generation American, and so this topic resonates particularly with me. Here we are in Sacramento, and Sacramento is a city with a large number of immigrants. Particularly in our area, we have large number of Ukrainians and Afghanis, and so this topic is really relevant to us. And as we were singing Mi Hamocha, I was thinking of the journey that a lot of these people have made. So in this spirit, I would like to introduce Hazel Watson, whom I've known for a few years now. Hazel is a community organizer for Sacramento Area Congregations Together, otherwise known as SAC Act. Hazel can tell us a little bit more about that organization. And Hazel has worked on a variety of issues in that capacity, ranging from housing to climate justice and also immigration. And I wanted to share with you something that Hazel had shared with me in the past, which was one of her favorite quotes, which is from Pirkei Avot. It is not your duty to finish the work, but neither are you at liberty to neglect it. And I think that speaks to Hazel's dedication to meaningful work throughout her career and her life. So thank you, Hazel, for coming.
I need to pay attention to what I tell Susan. I'd completely forgotten. I told her that. I believe I read that when I was sitting here at my first time attending services here, and I took a picture of it because I had heard it before, but it touched me. I am a community organizer, and I like the way Susan introduces me as having worked on all these issues. I've worked on all these issues because these are the issues the people I work with have brought to me to work with. I'm a community organizer. I respond to what the people tell me to work on. And right now, there is increasingly a concern in a lot of congregations about immigration and about immigrants. What to do if ICE comes to your door. What we know is that ICE is in Sacramento, has been in Sacramento, and this is an ongoing thing, right? What we know is that there are 6 privately owned detention centers in California for ICE. There are no privately owned prisons in California because we outlawed that in California. But the federal government didn't outlaw it, and the California government did try and say, hey, we don't do that here, and the federal government said, well, we do, so. And the detention centers are poorly staffed, not responding to mental health problems or medical problems, and are pretty bad places to be. So it is to be avoided. What needs to be done? I think what needs to be done is some honest prayer and some honest conversations within the faith community, within each congregation. I've been asking people to have these conversations in their congregations because I want you all to sort of be on the same page should we have to call. We don't really know at this point what we're going to need. We suspect that we're going to need material and financial aid, that we may need hands-on support of legal observers and court people willing to accompany people to court. We may need a human circle of protection around somebody that is being tried, that they're coming to take away. We know we need to keep our elected officials accountable. It was pointed out in the sheet that Sacramento is a sanctuary city, Sacramento County, not so much. Kennedy did come to a press conference that we held outside of Trinity Cathedral in December, but so far we haven't been able to get much headway with conversations with the county. So we could use some pressure on the county. I personally think we need to keep an eye on other officials in this county and what they might be doing, who they might be taking money from to do what, as far as detention centers go and assisting people goes. And it may come to action, right? Protest. We may need to raise our voices in the streets and demand that our values be reflected in the way people are being treated. So all of these different things are kind of a scale, right? And you might find yourself on one part of the scale. I know for my mother, who's not in this area, but she's in Santa Rosa area. She's like, Hazel, they had a legal observation training at church, and I just don't think at my age I can really go and do that. I was like, okay, Mom. She goes, but I made them coffee for their meeting. Right? We all have our role. And so as we stand up as individuals, we need to take into consideration, into prayer, what is my role? What am I called to do in this moment? And then as a congregation, I'm asking Beth Shalom to have some conversations, to have some prayer, and to determine what your role in this moment is. Sacramento Act we'll be offering trainings. We'll be offering some accompaniment trainings. If people ask us to, we'll offer some civil disobedience trainings. We can offer a wide variety of things, right? We did do some of this work in the prior Trump administration. We did some of this work, and then there wasn't a whole lot that happened. 2 years ago, we had 2 groups of migrants literally dumped in Sacramento. And we picked up, and how we picked up and moved and took care of those people was we went back to the congregations who'd stepped up, who we had been like, well, we don't really need the help, so. But we knew they were there, we knew they were waiting, and that was why we were able to call on them to help us with those migrants who, most of whom remain in the area. So I can't promise you what's going to happen. I can't tell you exactly what we need right now. I can give you some things to think about, and you guys can talk about it, pray about it, and get back to me. And we'll keep in touch. We are going to be putting together a group of people who are kind of tracking it and keeping in touch and keeping people informed and coming up with the trainings and that sort of thing. So just let me know.
Can you tell us some of the things that you might be asked of a congregation?
Material and financial support, court accompaniment, these are all the things. Those are the things, court accompaniment, maybe a big action, we might decide to do that. It kind of would come from, like I didn't pick climate justice or housing or homelessness or immigration. Folks asked me, this is what we're worried about. So it comes from the people. And it will come from the people. But the people right now are talking about, well, maybe we should think about what civil disobedience would look like should the time come. And maybe we should be prepared for that by getting training on that. So it's kind of the conversation that's happening right now. Because part of the problem is that the sanctuary the movement that we knew as sanctuary movement isn't gonna work. And that's one thing we do know at this point. We will not be putting people into church congregation buildings to give them sanctuary. I mean, we can try, but we won't. From what it seems, ICE will not respect that at this point. So, I don't know that there'll be very many people volunteering to be in that situation if it's not gonna stop ICE. So. Yeah. Yeah.
Just to, I'm sorry, I can't stand up right now, but to show you how far it's gone, I'm going to a kids camp called Camp Newman this summer in a few weeks, and there will be about 400 kids there, and we are going to be training what happens if ICE comes. And I never thought that obviously this would happen, but because we have some people on staff at camp who are, they have visas and everything, but they're coming from abroad. And what do we do if they have a warrant, and who do we call?
Mm-hmm.
And you have the moral dilemma, because if they have a warrant that's signed, technically you have to let them in, but on the other hand, where do you stand morally? And on the other hand, you have 400 kids who are behind you at the same time at various ages. But it's really interesting, all the summer camps in our movement, people on staff are being trained what happens if.
And we do know ICE will come to congregations. We've seen it. We've seen it. We're Spanish-speaking congregations, but yes, they showed up on Mother's Day and waited in the parking lot. That was 2018, I believe.
Are ICE showing up at elementary schools?
I believe they are.
So as an educator, what can I do to protect children?
I would really ask your district to come up with a policy, because that way you can be protected. But we can offer you some trainings if you were interested, if you had a group of teachers who were interested. If you're in a local district, let me know what district it is, because we are doing some work in a couple of districts.
It's in Placer County.
We're not in Placer County, but yeah. But we can get you in touch with what other people are doing, and that might give you some guidance, yeah. Yep.
Locally, we've already had an incident at a school in Alberta Drive. ICE came at school dismissal and created a talk on the street outside of the school, but for the purpose of parents coming to pick up their kids. So it's already happened.
So Hazel, what I appreciate so much about what you do is that, as you said, you are brought an issue. And then you do the work, and then you organize people so that they can respond to that when it should happen.
Yeah.
And thank you for your passion. Thank you. And we hope that if you own it, you'll talk with us informally about your experience.
Yeah, and I would love to take a group through a conversation, if there's a group that wants to sort of sit and noodle through that. Like, it's kind of something that I think we should all be thinking about. Like you say, as a teacher, what should I do? We should all get some training, think about it, be prepared. Yeah, and we can come out and do that sort of thing.
Yep. So dear friends, we're going to just shift for a moment toward page 371, and we send our love to all those who are in need of healing. Our love to Sandy Lewin as she gets stronger every day, Meredith Rosenberg, Jerry Steinke, Mitch Phillips, Carla Gilmore, Near Pelled, Bart Willis, Beryl Schwartz, Mark Mathett, Rachel Rodman, Julie Henry, Johnny Munoz, Brian Worthy, Diane Steed, Marie Owen, Michael Vincent, Ralph Bunn, Debbie Lugo, Lynn Sangregate, Chris Morrison, Dave Malkin, continue right on, Alex Foreman, Harav Ahuva Batliba, Shoshana Stewart, Carrie Matthews, Ray Nalangan. Are there any other folks that we're praying for on this Shabbat? So, dear friends, there's a lot of suffering out there. That's why filling up on the sweetness is so important, so we have more to share and be fortified with one another. We turn to page 371. Misha beirach avotenu mekor habracha laimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha beirach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Let's see, Oscar, can I give you a job? Okay. Could you hand like one of these to every two people? Because that's all of that. We offer a prayer on page 376 for the wisdom of this country, our country. That the values that are core to our faith can be heard and lived. Page 376. Thus says Adonai, this is what I desire, to unlock the fetters of wickedness and untie the cords of lawlessness, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke. Share your bread with the hungry and take the wretched poor into your home. When you see the naked, give clothing and do not ignore your own kin. If you banish the yoke from your midst, the menacing hand, the evil speech. If you offer compassion to the hungry and satisfy the famished creature, then your light shall shine in darkness. So we know of 594 days of hostages still imprisoned, alive or not alive. I ask you to look at the song, Prayer for Jews Held in Captivity. Acheinu kol Beit Yisrael, Achayotenu kol Beit Yisrael, Hanitunim b'tzara, b'tzara uvashivya, haomdim bein bayam uvein bayabashagan. Acheinu kol Beit Yisrael, Achayotenu kol Beit Yisrael, Hanitunim b'tzara, b'tzara uvashivya, haomdim bein bayam uvein bayabasham. Hamakom yirachem, yirachem alehem v'yotziim mitzara lirvacha ume'alfela lir'ora meshiv bud ligula hashta be'agala uvizman kariv. Acheinu kol Beit Yisrael, Achayotenu kol Beit Yisrael, הנתונים בצרה ובשביה, העומדים בין אדם ובין ביבשה. Our brothers, the whole house of Israel, swiftly and soon. Amen. Mercy on them and bring them from death swiftly and soon. Amen. I would like to have our announcement. I would like to have our announcements. Do we have announcements? That would be Mr. Bob Bennett. Aloha.
We have a wonderful special fundraising event. If you walk over to the see, it looks like Hawaii. There's sun shining, there's beaches, all that stuff. So if you haven't yet bought a ticket but want to come, there's still some available, and it'll be, I think, 5:30 on Sunday starting. Be a great time for everyone, and especially Mike and Julie, thank you for providing the land. Also vegetarian options for those who need that. So, and Matt Kurtz, our perennial cook, wonderful job always. Much. Thank you, Rabbi Nancy, for the service. Our and also his quote in our book, I can't remember exactly, it's Abraham Heschel, pray as if everything depended on God, act as if everything depends on you. You reminded me of that and what we need to do as we think about and what's called for. June is our Gay Pride Month, and so we'll be having programs during the month of June, and also a time for us to take steps to stand up for what we believe in, part of that. Shaloha, we talked about volunteers. Matt, volunteers for the Shaloha to help with the dinner? Cleaning up.
Oh, our favorite part.
Okay, good part. We'll be there to clean up. Okay. Next Friday is the Shabbat service celebrating our confirmation class. And so that's the service that starts at 7 o'clock. And finally, to think about our annual food fair, which this year is a huge event. It's going to be at the Scottish Rite Center down on 8th Street near Sac State. And anything that you want to say to us, Teresa? And a lot of
We are going to start within the next week putting out volunteers. So I would like to see if, even if it's an hour over the summer, the day of, we're going to do a lot of people. But just prayerfully think about what we can do time-wise. We're also looking for sponsors.
Great. It'll be a wonderful time. Make sure you volunteer and come. What's the date, Teresa? October 12th. Time to plan. And again, great for the baby naming and having the family here. That's awesome. I thought I saw something really special for Oneg in the other room, didn't I? That the family's provided. There's this huge cake. I'm not sure the baby's going to eat the whole cake. Probably going to. So stay out in the narthex for Oneg and meet some new friends and have some great food that the family's made. Thanks.
Thank you. So, dear friends, the Omer, and that's from the holiday of Passover. Do you remember Passover? Die, Dayenu, Dayenu, die, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. And all the way, 49 days till we celebrate Shavuot, the receiving of the commandments, and that's going to be celebrated with Temple or Rishon on Sunday evening, June 1st. I believe that's the date, right? Yeah, okay, good. And I will be there, and I'm really looking forward to it, so I'd like you to come. Very nice at Temple or Rishon. You really should come. But in terms of, here's my little thing. If you look at the handout, we are 41 days in the Omer. ו40 יום, שהם 5 שבועות ו6 לעומר. Today is, let's read this together. Today is 1 days, which is 5 weeks and 6 days of the Omer. Yesod, She, Yesod. So the influence of Yesod, motivation. And to be Yesod, I always hesitate, how much can I tell you how much I love counting the Omer? I love counting the Omer. So the week is a motivation, and the aspect that we focus on, that we shine a light on this evening, motivation within motivation. So it would probably be a great time for intentions about something that you are truly motivated about working toward. And let the power of this day of the Omer from tonight till tomorrow bring some fire to in a positive way. So, dear friends, we turn to our closing prayers. We turn to Aleinu on page 586. Please stand. I also want to thank Oscar Kurtz. He's in training for his bar mitzvah, and every time the kids come, and you're doing great. You're doing really great. Page 586, second paragraph on the right. Aleinu lishabeach ladon hakol, it gedula liotze ishit, shelo asanu kigoye ha'arazot, velo samanu k'mishpachot adama, velo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamona, אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כתוב בתורתו וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד, ונאמר והיה אדוני מלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני ושמו אחד ושמו אחד. Please be seated. So we know that this week unbearably rough. Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram were young, in love, and they had their lives ahead of them. And just outside the Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C., not Tel Aviv, not Jerusalem, nowhere near a battlefield, hunted down and murdered in cold blood because they were Jews. Their killer shouted, "Free Palestine," as he was arrested. So they were not soldiers. They were not diplomats. They were believers in peace. They were attending an event about humanitarian aid. And the article that went out from our congregation this week had a link to a song that if you haven't listened to the song, I would invite you to do so. The song is sung by this young woman, and I watched an interview of her. She had been there October 7th at the festival. She survived, but her leg was was shattered and her dearest friends were murdered. And she's singing this song about a new day. And there's something about hearing that resilience that I identify with. I think it's a universal striving to continue to walk one foot in front of the next. And so tonight, we will stand for Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram, whose lives were ended this week. We remember those who died within the 11 months: Bob Haberman, Sylvia Margaret Rochford, Joan Voorhees, Arthur Choate, Mel Tabak, John Snyder, Vicki Myrtle, Dana Drucker, Ben Jasso, Kent Telfer, Bonnie Tabak, Dr. Gil Simon, Leroy Kessler, Mary Hansen, Chaim Romano, Jean Leslie Sisson, Bill Wexler, Raoul Burnham, Sandra Epstein, Judith Forio, Millie Birch, Lisa Schneerson, Cantor George Wald, David Gurman, S. George Ezekiel, Ann Eisenberg. And we remember with love the sites of Kirby Ash, Yigal Avram, Benjamin Beal, Rudy Beal, Gil Block, Albert Cahotis, Candace Ann Fry, Brian Ginsberg, Gussenow, Eska Halimi, Ernestine Hartfield, Shirley June Harris, Haynes Heyman, Rachel Calamaris, Oscar Kushner, Helen Bear Manavel, John Martin Polis, Sarah Abram Posca, Betty Orenstein Rothschild, Rose Sears, Dr. Paul Weiss, Mazel Zaret. Are there any other yard sites or recent deaths in our community? We stand as one family. Susan, did you have a name? Thank you. So as Rabbi Chester said, we send our love to the families of Yaron and Sarah. And with all of it, we say, Yal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach rutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayei chon uvyomei chon uv'chayei d'chol el, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'almei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha brichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'amah v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Please be seated. So, as we said earlier, it is the beauty of a new life that comes in that really keeps us going, standing tall. So while we kind of sang it before, I want to sing it this time with you looking at the page. Please turn to page 648. 648. So just kind of, something sounds like cinnamon toast and something, but it's not. It's Siman Tov Umazal Tov. Umazal Tov v'Siman Tov. Yehei lanu uv'chol Yisrael. So this is, Claire, honey, this is your song tonight. Siman Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Siman Tov and Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov and Siman Tov and Mazel Tov and Siman Tov. Yehei lanu. Siman somebody that you haven't really spent much time in your whole life talking to, please do that at least with 3 people. Just say hi. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us. For those of you online, Shabbat Shalom. Much peace to you.